Welcome back to episode 45 on The Wild. I'm Riley Keenan. With me, as always, Anuj Basker.
Yes, we're nearing the end of the year, and everybody is posting their Spotify Wrapped. No one cares, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna it's cool. You listen to a lot of music this year, but I'll be honest, no one cares.
Yeah. Some of the names, too, came out of nowhere. Like,
And what kills me is people are like, "Oh, my Spotify Wrapped sucks." You're the one who listens to the music.
It's like, I've said this before, it's like the people that say Subway sucks. You're making the sandwich yourself. You just clearly don't know what you like.
For real. But I actually didn't have a Spotify Wrapped. I had an Apple Music Replay.
Yeah.
But who is your top artist?
Okay, well, let me preface this. I share a Spotify.
Right.
So it was basically what we both listened to enough to get it to that point. Kid Laroi was number one. I was pretty shocked by that. I listened to Kid Laroi quite a bit, but didn't think he was going to be number one. I had I think I had Drake 2, J. Cole 3, Kanye 4, and then
Is it Travis?
it was either Travis or like Justin Bieber, I think was like number 5.
Mine was Drake, Travis, Cole, Ye, and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Same order, same artist as last year,
Yeah.
just a different order. But
Our 2, 3, 4 was identical.
2, 3, 4.
Drake, J.
Drake was
Cole,
my number
Kanye.
one.
Oh, Drake was your number one. Who's number
Yeah.
2?
Travis.
Travis, right.
Then Cole, Ye, and Jay-Z. But we were gonna talk about Drake today, since that's kind of like the consensus. You would probably.
Most
Do you
people
think?
have
Do you
them.
think you listened to Drake more than Kid Laroi this year? 'Cause I know it's joint.
I think Wants and Needs put it over the edge.
Yeah.
That song, I played that so much when it came out. A
So-
lot in the summer, too.
Yeah. So because of that, we're gonna do our top 5 Drake songs. We've done
Yeah.
this before with Travis. We're gonna do it with Drake today.
This was
And
tough to narrow down.
We need to preface this by saying there's so many songs.
So
There's
many.
so many songs that aren't on my list that could easily be on there on any given day. It's just these are the songs that I listen to the most today,
Yeah.
and it could change tomorrow.
Yeah. And we're not
So-
saying these are the best. These are
No,
our favorites.
no.
These are not the best. Drake
Definitely
songs.
not the best
Yeah.
or his most popular.
Yeah.
It's just our top 5. Do you want to start? Should we go 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Let's go 5 to 1. My number 5, it
Oh,
technically doesn't.
you do your whole list, and I'll do mine.
Okay, yeah. At number 5, I got a tie because one of them technically really isn't a Drake song, but Buried Alive interlude off Take Care. It's just Kendrick, but oh my God, how good is that song? The instrumental's beautiful. Kendrick's great over it. That was the first song that I was like, okay, maybe I should start listening to Kendrick. But tied with that, I had From Time also from, oh my God, what is it called? Nothing Was the Same. That song's just a classic. It's a beautiful melody. The girl, I can't remember what her name is, but her voice, holy, she's incredible. Number 4, I got Wants and Needs featuring Lil Baby. That
Damn,
was a
this
song.
year.
That was probably the most played song I had this year, just because that Baby feature is insane. But then the more you listen to it, the more you realize Drake's verse is great too. He tried something unique with it, and I think he killed it.
It sounded offbeat at first, then it somehow got on beat at some point. It was
I wonder if that was purposeful.
it was definitely it was
Yeah.
purposeful.
Yeah, he's tactical. He's calculated like that. Number 3, I got Pound Cake. This would have been my number 1 if we did this last year. This was like, I swear this was on like every 2016 YouTube video back in the day. But classic. Jay-Z's verse is great.
Yeah.
Um,
I personally like the second half.
yeah,
better.
I think so too. And yeah, a lot of people will skip the song at that point. And I'm like, really? I think
I
this
like the
part
second half more.
might be better. But
Even
yeah.
though Jay-Z's verse is great, but keep going.
Yeah. My number 2, I mean, it's lost a bit of its meaning now that they've reached out to each other and hung out a bit, but 7 a.m. on Bridal
That's
Path.
your number 2?
That's my number 2. I've just been playing it a lot.
I mean, yeah, it's today. So.
This list will definitely be different come next year, but right now, 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, there's just so many clever lines in that song that I love. I love the beat as well. I love the meaning of it. It's just a great song. That's 7 a.m. on Bridal Path was what I wanted from CLB, and I think I got it because of that song. But my number 1's pretty easy, Fire and Desire off Views.
Fire and Desire.
Love that song. It's one of those songs you can just put in your earphones, close your eyes, and you're in a whole nother world.
Yeah.
It's just a great beat. But I have a feeling my list is going to be very different from yours.
Oh, it's completely different. The only same one we have is Pound Cake at 3, but bit about me. I've said it before. I like the introspective. Talk for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a switch real quick. Number 5, I had Deep Pockets, but I'm gonna switch it to Champagne Poetry.
Oh, you do love that one.
That's my favorite Drake intro.
I remember like 30 seconds into the album coming out, this is the best Drake album. Like 30 seconds into Champagne Poetry.
I literally texted him. I was like, 1 minute in, album of the year.
Yeah. I didn't even started playing it yet. I was like, is it that good? And then I heard the instrumental. I was like, okay, I see this.
Yeah, it's I enjoy the second half better. The whole part of him getting very personal about his life, I very much enjoy it. It was actually my number one song this year, even though my replay
August
in September.
Holy.
Yeah. I listened to it a lot. A lot
of train ride songs.
Yeah. But number 4 is Two Birds, One Stone. It came out in 2016. It came out before More Life. It was a single. It came out around my birthday too. But it's a really good song. There's a really messed up diss at Kid Cudi in this song. But it's a great song. Number 3 is Pound Cake. I won't expand on that. We've already done that. Number 2 is 30 for 30 Freestyle off of What a Time to Be Alive.
I forget about that song
with Future. It's really good. And number 1 is Do Not Disturb, the outro on More Life.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's so good.
It is really good. I'm not a huge fan of More Life, but that song,
I don't like More Life either. But that song is my favorite Drake song.
Great. Yeah, it's definitely the best song on that album for sure.
100%.
It's the ending, right? It's the conclusion.
It's the outro.
Yeah. He does really good with his intros and outros.
Intros and outros are a given with Drake albums. Yeah.
Is he the best with them, honestly?
In recent memory, yeah.
I mean, I would put Kendrick's intros up there. I don't know about his outros, though. I haven't listened to him enough, but his intros are usually great. Like To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. But yeah, Drake he's at the top of the game and just making hits after hits.
Like, the way he can end songs, too. Like, the way he ends this song is like, maybe getting back to my regular life will humble me. I'll be back in 2018 to give you the summary.
Yeah. Oh,
More
my
Life.
God. Yeah,
and
he just
instrumental for a minute.
I love how he foreshadows. Like, that's just great.
Yeah.
Also, was Drake the guy who started, like, not finishing a lyric? Like, that's a trend now. Where it's
we talked about it when we did the Donda versus CLB.
Yeah.
He does it all the time.
Yeah, because I've heard, like, Jaden Smith started to do it. Like, 21 Savage has done it a bit. But was Drake, like, the catalyst? Or was it someone else?
Maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't want to be wrong and say he did or didn't.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I think it might actually be Jay-Z. Because I have heard him do it quite a bit. But, yeah, I don't know where that originated.
I mean, Drake does kind of idolize Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So
I guess,
maybe.
It makes sense. Yeah, I remember when I first heard people doing that, I was like, what the? Finish the line. What are you doing? But now it's like...
It makes it more interactive. And if you perform the song, it makes it even better.
Yeah. Because, then you can, like, just literally put the mic out, they do it, and then you finish the bar.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, when you make songs interactive, like, that's why Travis succeeds a lot. Because there's a lot of ad-libs and a lot of moments that he could just kind of give it to the fans for that part.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be successful touring, that's the way to go for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to ask you this, though. What's your favorite Drake feature?
That's a question we have to, like, research.
Really
but off the top of my head, I mean...
I'm thinking of 2.
I'll do this year. I'll do his best feature this year, and it was Seeing Green.
Yeah, that was one I was thinking of, too.
That was by far his best feature. And the way he was going into CLB, I thought he was going to take that kind of route of just rapping, but
because that song was crazy too, because Lil Wayne started it and you're like, whoa, okay, great verse from Wayne, and then Nicki has one of the best verses of her life, and then Drake's like, nah, it's my song.
Yeah,
it's like, I did not expect that. I thought he was going to ruin it.
It got progressively better as the song went on.
What a great track. That was one of my top 5 songs of the year, actually, I think. But yeah,
no, I lied. Champagne Poetry wasn't my number 1 song. That was my number 1 song.
Yeah.
Champagne Poetry was number 2.
Yeah. I think, because when I think of best Drake features, I think of Seeing Green, even though it's so recent. I guess you could say Forever, back when he, Eminem, Kanye.
Well, Forever was his song.
Oh, right. It was his song. It just feels weird because he only had like one verse, right?
Well, he had a verse and he had the chorus.
The chorus. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that was his song. The only other one I could think of is, well, there's a lot, but Blessings by Big Sean. I remember when that came out. I didn't really even know who Drake was much back then. I started late to hip hop, but I was like, "Oh, this guy's good."
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to like think about it because he's had so many.
Yeah,
so you kind of have to go year by year. But like, I can really only think back to this year.
Yeah,
and it's Seeing Green by far, but he's had a lot.
Yeah. Do you think he's the biggest draw in terms of like?
100%.
Oh, well, like, but I mean, like, obviously, like he's
He
like,
upped
number one.
Smiley's listeners to 1 million.
Yeah, but do you think he's the number one draw in terms of getting people on his album? Like, if every artist were to drop an album in the same year and go, okay, who wants to be on it? Who would get the most like replies? You think?
I think it would depend on like the album and the magnitude of the album. So if like it was like we go to Travis, if it was Astroworld, I think everybody wanted to be on that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Whereas-
if everyone's going like, all right, this is gonna be my last album of my life.
Oh,
Who's getting the most? Like Drake, Kendrick.
Kanye.
You think it's Kanye?
I mean, he just did it with Donda. Everybody was
Yeah.
on Donda.
Everyone was on Donda. Oh, I guess it would be Kanye. I want to say Kid Cudi, but I feel like it would be a lot of the younger generation that would
Cudi?
want Cudi. Just because, like, Cudi changed a lot of people's lives. But, yeah, it wouldn't be Cudi. I think it'd be either Kanye or Drake, I guess.
Yeah, it would be Kanye, just because Kanye influenced the whole generation of people.
Yeah. You can
And Drake
see it,
and
too.
Drake's an influence, but he's more of like his own thing.
His own wave, yeah.
I don't know how many people he's necessarily influenced. Like he obviously has, but not to the extent of Kanye.
It's weird how, like, Drake has his own sound, but it's not like it's a unique sound, which is so weird. You know what I mean? Like,
It's his voice.
it's just, yeah, it's like,
He's so versatile.
yeah, at the beginning, I thought his voice was horrible. I thought when he was like, hey,
I honestly-
hey, I was like, what the hell is this?
I honestly like his voice now more than I did when he was younger. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people don't. A lot of people like older Drake. I like his voice now.
Yeah, he's more like in tuned, I feel like.
Yeah. It's like deeper. Like I don't know.
Yeah. It just sounds better. It sounds more experienced.
Yeah.
But it definitely was more experienced, but like
Yeah.
he figured out his range in a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
Facts.
But I mean, looking at this generation, like when you went to be able to ask that question, who would get the biggest draw? Like, there, Kanye, Drake, Travis, Jay-Z, like Kid Cudi, you could put in.
I
there.
mean,
like,
Jay-Z doesn't really do features like that. He
Yeah.
he kind of just does his own thing.
but like, is this this has to be the greatest generation of rap. Like, I want to say it's like Biggie, Pac, Nas, but there
depends-
wasn't enough produced from all those people. Obviously, like
Well, there-
unfortunate deaths. But
yeah. I mean, look at. I mean, yeah. If you go like top to bottom, the 2010s.
gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, of
You-
hip hop, yeah.
Yeah, because like when you talk about
Because then you also have to look at hip hop wasn't as popular back in the 90s as it is now.
yeah,
Hip hop's the most popular genre now, whereas in the 90s it was
it was coming up.
So
I wonder, like, if you were to rank the top 100 rap albums, like how many from each decade would there be? Because I know, like, when you talk about like top 100 movies, they always talk about the classics, but you're like, is that really better than this? With music, I feel like it's more so now that they're like, let's literally just choose the best one.
yeah.
I feel like the
music
2010s.
music it's so hard to like say
Narrow it
what's the
down.
best because everybody likes different things and we
Yeah.
just saw it with our lists
completely different.
completely different.
It's the same with Travis. Like, we both love Travis, yet we love completely different songs. We agree
Yeah.
on a lot, but our favorites are completely
Yeah,
different.
or it could be any artist, J. Cole, whoever. So
Yeah.
it really just depends. Like I'm sure if we were to do a list of our top 5 Kanye songs, it'd be completely different.
Yeah. We got to just keep doing these lists and see if we can ever get one where we have the same three. Because I
It's
think
never gonna happen because we like different
yeah,
things.
we're going to
in
have
music.
one on each, and then that's it. I feel
Yeah.
like. We had Pound Cake, and then we had 90210, I think.
Yeah. Well, our Travis ones were actually pretty similar because I had 90210. I think I had What to Do on there.
What to do, yeah. Did you have
Which-
Drugs You Should Try It?
No.
Okay. So we probably had two.
Yeah.
You had
something
Astro
like
Thunder,
that.
probably.
Yeah, number 2. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I think this has got to be the great. Like, obviously, we're living in this generation. We're seeing it. We didn't get to see the 90s, but this has to be the greatest generation of
Music
rap.
wise, yeah.
But
Well,
even
hip hop wise.
hip hop, yeah. Pop, I don't think so. Because, like, as much as you can say, oh, yeah, Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, like, all these The Weeknd people, like, Michael Jackson was bigger than all of them.
combined.
Combined, yeah. Like, and just more talented, too.
Yeah.
Like, you could talk about numbers all you want,
And you
but
have
he had
people like-
way more talent.
you have like people like Prince and
Yeah. Alicia Keys and... Was Alicia Keys pop? I don't know.
yeah, I guess you would count as. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't really...
Beyonce.
Beyonce, oof. Killing it.
Yeah. Beyonce's the. I'm not
Is
gonna
she
say
the
it.
GOAT?
I mean, I'd say of female artists, I would say yeah.
I think Haley Winehouse would have been if she didn't.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. What did I say? Haley?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? It's my sister's name. Yeah, Amy Winehouse. She was great, but she can't be. Whitney Houston.
Up there.
It's gotta
don't-
be Beyonce.
Yeah. I mean,
You can make an argument for Rihanna.
Rihanna's really good.
I personally would rather listen to Rihanna than Beyonce.
Really?
I think Rihanna's incredible. I don't know what that album Anti in 2016 or whatever blew me away.
Yeah, I'd go Beyonce, but I mean, can't really go wrong.
Yeah, They're
That's
both
really
great.
the whole thing with all these artists. Like, you can't really go wrong with any of them.
Yeah.
It's really just personal preference.
We have so much choice now in this day and age with like artists to listen to and the plethora of genres there are now. And like I saw this meme rap. What is meme rap?
Meme rap?
I don't know.
I don't know what that. I have no idea what that means.
I've seen it on a couple people's Spotify's. Is it like TikTok songs, like songs that blew up on TikTok, or is it just, or I guess like Way Too Sexy would be a meme rap song. I at least think so.
Okay, but like, what other songs are there?
Literally all the songs that were nominated for the Grammys, I would say, are meme rap. Are they not?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Megan Thee Stallion's song, not gonna name it, but that's meme rap.
Week 2 of ripping the ground.
Yeah. How negative was that episode? Oh my god! I mean, it was titled
negativity, and more negativity.
But yeah, we were bashing the Grammys. Then we were bashing
The NBA.
The
and
NBA.
Just everything in general.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But sticking on the same page of talking about, the best generations of rap. When you talk about sports, are we in the best generation right now? Or at least like the 2010s?
I wouldn't say so. I would say like late 80s, 90s. I would say I was the best generation of sports just because, like, if we put it in a totality, I mean, we have like looking at today's era, like LeBron, like that's my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
Like that's my greatest, like that's my GOAT. We have Brady, we have like Crosby.
You can even expand it like more neat because basketball you have LeBron, Durant, Curry all at the same time. Hockey you have Crosby, Ovechkin. You can even put Patrick Kane in there. Baseball, Trout could be the GOAT of all, the greatest of all time. You got Scherzer and Kershaw, two of the greatest pitchers. Football, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Manning, like unbelievable quarterbacks, some of the greatest we've ever seen. But at the same time, the 90s is right there.
Yeah, 80s and 90s, I would say, like, because you have Jordan, you have Magic, you have Bird, you have Olajuwon, Shaq, all these guys. You have, in football, you have
Sanders.
You have the Niners, you have the Cowboys. Take your pick on who you want to say. Aikman, Smith, Irvin, the whole offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre, Montana, Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Hockey, you got Lemieux, Gretzky.
Yeah. Sticking with football, Lawrence Taylor. You just have some of the greatest players to ever play back then. And if you take it from a totality, like, I would say the 80s and 90s are better. But that doesn't mean that, not better, greater. I think the players now are better, but as a whole, but looking at what's the greatest era of sports, I would say that, because look at across all sports.
I think,
because even in baseball, you have, I know Griffey was in the 90s.
Griffey, Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Was Randy Johnson in there?
Probably.
Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter. I think the 90s is right there, but I think the 2010s take it, because
I don't think so.
I just think that there's you can make an argument for a GOAT at each of the sports, each of the big four, and there were players coming into the league at that time who all immediately made impacts. The NHL, Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews, two of the greatest, and Leon Draisaitl you put in there, Nikita Kucherov, all have come in this decade and made instant impacts, winning MVPs, Rocket Richards. Then you look at football. Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Lamar Jackson is completely changing the game. You got a plethora of wide receivers and running backs that are like, no one's ever done it like Derrick Henry. And then you look at basketball, like Luka Doncic is a player. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, you could even put in that conversation. Like, it's so tough because you could just list off players all day from either.
You can do that for them too, because you have Magic, you have Bird. Those go without saying. Jordan, Hakeem. Then you go to football. You have, just look at the 1989 draft class. You have Aikman, Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, Deion Sanders in the top 5.
Yeah.
Those guys made immediate impacts. And just look at the dynasties that were during that time. You have the Niners with Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Craig Hodges, the whole nine. And you have iconic plays like the catch. You have the Cowboys, obviously, with Jimmy Johnson. You have, in hockey, like you said, Gretzky, who's, you've made an argument that Crosby may be better, but
I think you can make the argument. I think his injuries take it away. I think Gretzky's the greatest player of all time. Yeah. I think you can't really debate
consensus.
it.
And you have Lemieux, you have Yager, you have all that. So
yeah,
I think in its as a whole, I would say the 80s and 90s are a greater era for sports, but
There's two massive names that I completely forgot about the NBA: Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan.
over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, you could also put them in the 90s too.
Yeah, but they were less than. I guess they probably spent even time, but they were more impactful in the 2010s than they were in the 90s. I'd say they both won. Yeah, Kobe won a championship. Duncan won 2.
Duncan won his rookie year.
Yeah,
98.
in '98, but he wasn't.
I
mean,
think
he
it was
was.
I think it was 98.
Yeah, or was it '99?
One of the two.
Yeah, or no, I think Robinson won MVP in '99 or something like that. But yeah, it's very close. I think this generation has the advantage in terms of social media making people more bigger superstars.
Yeah.
Because, back then, if you had social media, the Jordans of the world would be even bigger. Like, everyone knew who Jordan was. And you didn't even have stuff like social media. It was just people watching the news. So it's very, very close. I just think, I think because of the depth being better.
I'm not arguing that. I think players today are better than they were back
Yeah,
then.
but that's
as
what
a
I mean.
whole.
Like, they're both top heavy, like incredibly top heavy. And you can make an argument for either or. But the depth, I think, is what puts it over the edge of having like 6, 7, 8 guys in the basketball lineup that can go the distance. You have fourth liners in the NHL that are quick now, that can produce, that can put up 10, 15, maybe 20 goals a year. Where back then it was just the grinders who were looking to fight and make big plays, big hits happen. Even in football, there's more. It seems like there's more, vertical threat players than there were back then.
Well, that's because the game has changed too. 'Cause
Yeah.
back then, quarterbacks weren't throwing the ball 40 times a game. It was a run-first offense.
Exactly.
Every
So-
single team was a run-first offense.
So you can
Except
even
maybe like San Francisco, they were in a West Coast offense.
So you can make the argument about like football being more entertaining now because they pass the ball more. But then you can also flip it on the NBA and
Well, I
say,
think entertainment's a different question.
well, the greatest generation, entertainment has a big factor in what is the greatest generation of sports. Like
Well, yeah, but
The-
I think if you're looking at
you mentioned like the catch in football. Like you can talk about OBJ's catch with the Giants in the 2010s
but there's
being
a
the greatest
big
player.
difference. That was the NFC Championship. That was a random regular season
True.
game that they lost.
Yeah, but you could say that about anything. Like the moments of like Crosby's one-handed backhand goal was one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. But then you could put Lemieux's through the legs in there as well. And those are both regular season, but both incredible goals. But like the depth, I think, is what puts it over the edge. But it's tough because I look at the basketball though. I think basketball is less entertaining now than it was in the '90s. In the '90s, it was more grit and grind. Guys taking mid-range shots. Now there's just everybody's pulling from three, and fouls are called less. So then that's less entertaining. Baseball and hockey, I'd say, are kind of at the same point. Like they're always the same entertainment value for the most part. It's a lot. Like I think going into this, I was thinking 2000s, but then right before we started, I was like, okay, 90s is right there. That's like one of the most heated debates I think you can have about sports is 90s versus the 2010s.
I mean, it's right there. I mean, you can't really go. I mean, like we were talking about with music, you can't really go wrong with
Yeah.
either. Like they're both really good. I just think that just kind of like I don't even know what the word is, but like the aura around that whole time is a lot greater than it is now.
That's true, but I don't think we're going to know this aura until 10 years from now. Then we'll go, wow. Like, think about this. When LeBron retires, when Tom Brady retires, when Sidney Crosby retires, they're all going to retire at the same time for the most part. And it's going to be like, wow, like all these guys are gone. And you're going to look through all these guys' accolades and like, look at the guys we're missing out on. We did not appreciate like these guys when they were really playing. LeBron's one of those guys where so many people hate on it. But once he retires, people are going to sit back and think,
People are going to miss him.
Yeah, they're going to go, wow, I wish LeBron was still playing. Wow, I wish KD was still playing as much as we hated them when they were playing. So it's really tough. And I think like it hurts that we weren't alive in the 90s to really know. But I'm curious what boomers would think. Do they think 90s is better than 2000s?
Well, 100%, because that's what they grew up with.
I guess, yeah. But like when you look at them now, it's like they're just sitting watching TV all day. It's like there's always a game on. There's always a great game on in today's age. I think one of the best ways to maybe determine it would be like set your NBA starting five from the 2010s versus the 90s. Do that with the NHL and see like what team would beat the other one. And maybe that's how you can determine it. But there's so many other factors that go into it.
Yeah, and every sport is so different. Like you can't basketball is so different from football that like comparing eras, like it's just a whole thing.
I'm just realizing now, Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods. I guess he was in the 90s too, but these are goats of their sport that are playing now. I mean, you can. I don't know who I could compare them to back then in the '90s because I never watched swimming or anything like that. I just hear about Michael Phelps all the time. I know he's this legend, but I never really seen it that much. But yeah, I can't believe how much I'm arguing my own point now because it's like I really don't know which one's better because like Michael Jordan, LeBron, Crosby, Gretzky, like there's always something there, and that's what's so incredible about sports. People hate on it like you're just cheering for a game. It's like the intensity, the competitiveness, the fact that there's always someone new coming into the league. Because you always think like, wow, in the NBA, like once LeBron, Durant, and Curry are gone, who's going to take over? Giannis effortlessly came into that spot. Luka, Tatum, they're already prepping themselves to be in that spot.
Yeah.
There's never going to be a dull moment in sports, and that's why. Is it the greatest? That's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's like entertainment-wise, it's.
I mean, for us, yeah, sports is, yeah,
it's
but,
the thing.
Yeah,
I think well, sports also has the advantage of like you can intermingle music with sports. You can make movies about sports. You can't do the vice versa. So it kind of like puts it over the edge there.
Well, yeah, I mean, sports kind of brings people together. So
yeah, it really does unite people like no other because you can be from completely different places, have completely different opinions on political things, but you cheer for the same team. All right, you're my brother. Like, like you're my guy. If you think about it, like it's horrible to say, but like racism, part of it stopped because of sports. Like it's always gonna last, and it's because people are horrible. But
yeah,
like, I saw like a comedian go like, "Oh, the high school team's 4-0. Those are my guys." Like they were racist as hell at Alabama, but they win a couple football games, and people cheer for them. Yeah. It's like sports really does unify people like no other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I went to race.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but
oh, sports, gotta love it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good place to,
yeah.
to wrap up. Bron's the GOAT, though. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay well.
Peace.